Welcome to Client Diaries, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes at Luna PR. In this episode, we're talking about MultiversX, a leading blockchain network that we've had the pleasure of working with. Joining me is the Luna PR team that managed the account. Welcome, guys. Let's start off with some introductions.
Hi, I'm Issam Ali, and I'm an account executive.
Hi, I'm Johnny Hesketh, and I'm an account director here.
Hey, I'm Kuruvilla Chako, and I'm an account director.
So why don't we start off with first what our scope was and some of our greatest achievements so far.
So MultiversX is a layer 1 blockchain. It's one of the best blockchains out there. They're trying to solve the blockchain trilemma of speed, scalability, and decentralization. They've been with us for nearly a year now, and we manage the entire PR scope for MultiversX, and this includes media outreach, handling the commentaries, podcasts, interviews, making sure that they have all the visibility across global and local media. We've also helped them expand into several territories that they're looking at. For example, they wanted to get a presence in Korea, in South Korea, and when that was needed, we were there ensuring that they got on-ground coverage, getting them coverage in tier 1 publications like Korea Times and Digicon Asia. The whole priority for us here is not just to build the ecosystem for them, but also to ensure that the founders, Beniamin and Lucian, who are both highly technical and extremely good speakers, they get the right platform to tell what.
So also like a little bit of executive positioning for the founders.
Yes.
I feel like that's so underrated, but I want to like rewind a little bit. What I loved about this account is that we had their global mandate, like we had their
Yes.
global scope. A lot of people have this misconception that because we're based here in the UAE, we only have media contacts here,
Yeah.
but actually we nailed it globally, right?
That's a common misconception in the sense, like, even in some conversation, they'd be like, okay, you guys are based here, so like your connections are more towards the Middle East. So like you're gonna get us coverage in Saudi Arabia and the UAE, which happily we will, but we got the coverage in Korea Times when Adam Bates, the CMO, had visited Korea for Korea Blockchain Week. And at another time, we got them Digicon Asia, which is a publication based in Singapore. And then moving forward, we also had a conversation about a collaboration with Cornell University that they have had.
That's
And
amazing. That's huge.
It was like really good in the sense that they're really tackling or positioning themselves in this mainstream conversation, and that's the kind of thing that we'd like to do here. It's telling
Yeah.
the story that drives mainstream adoption.
So back to this like Twitter case. Tell me about how you leveraged
Beniamin's
a
law
tweet.
of
But-
scalability.
So
helping
again,
them.
Casey shared the thread, and I looked at it, and he said, "Let there be a law known as Ben's scaling law," and I'm like, "What in the Aristotle are you saying?"
That is so biblical.
And I was like, okay. And basically the law states that any system, whether in blockchain or in any kind of ecosystem that is scalable, must be by nature sharded. I'm like, okay, I'm following. What are you trying to say, Ben? And yeah, then we developed the idea of, like, in the scenario of mainstream adoption, how could it handle this adoption? It would definitely break down. You need sharding technology. What is sharding technology? What are sovereign chains? What is the idea of blockchain as a service? And we took that to Digicon Asia, a
So that at
Singapore.
Techopedia as well, they did a full article on that.
Yeah.
We got significant. So that was a time when we were kind of leveraging the tools that we have to see if reporters are writing about sharding tech.
Yeah.
And the general consensus was that sharding tech, no one's going to write about it because it's too complicated. But the data showed otherwise. Yeah, so data showed that journalists are picking up that keyword, and
Yeah.
we felt it's the right time to pitch this. So we had a mix of data there, and we had a mix of intuition, and the fact that the founder had just spoken about it. We put it
That's
together into one
amazing.
page.
Yeah, I mean,
we
sometimes
sent it out.
it's not about trends. It's not like, oh, no one's talking about sharding, so let me not pitch it, right? It's
Yeah.
about like giving journalists a unique perspective on things.
You might create a trend
Yeah.
by doing that.
So in a month, roughly, how many media clippings are we garnering for this client?
On an average, I would say between 10 to 15 original, including syndications, and the fact that we've got them out in the press several times. means that analysts are writing about the EGLD token price,
Yes.
which would put it roughly between 400 to 600 across
400 to 600 media clippings.
Media clippings, yeah. But
per month.
to us, it would be between 10 to 15.
Yeah, that's insane. 400, I mean, that's insane. And I know there's a metric in PR that we look at called share of voice, right? Maybe you can talk us through a little bit about what share of voice is and how it's impacted this client.
Share of voice is about benchmarking your product against other competitors. In the case of MultiversX, it's comparing MultiversX's media mentions against Aptos, against Sui, against Cardano, against other top L1s that MultiversX competes with. Since we've started with them, share of voice has steadily increased. But apart from share of voice, there are other metrics as well, which we are constantly tracking.
What
These
are those
include
other?
AVE and UVM. So UVM means the monthly visits to a particular website,
Unique
and
visitors
unique
month.
visitor
per month. And AVE,
And AVE is the average value of the media engagement.
advertising value.
value.
Yeah,
for this.
advertising value. Yeah, because we always use the acronyms, so we
Yeah.
never actually remember what those acronyms mean. So the AV is interesting, right? The advertorial value of the work equivalent. Yeah. So ultimately, what you're saying is that clients are saving money
Yes.
through working it with an agency, an organic PR, rather than doing the advertorial spend because they're getting more clippings out of it.
Yes, and that is why right now MultiversX has introduced us to several of the ecosystem projects like X Money, X Portal, Hatum. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get their entire ecosystem onto Luna PR's PR bandwidth, because they know that we are trying to get them better reach, more organic reach. But they are doing their paid placements
Yeah,
on the
like they're
site.
seeing the value.
They are seeing the
basically.
value. So it's not just MultiversX, the core MultiversX, but we are now also supporting their side projects.
I think it's very evident when I'm speaking to you guys that you've taken the successes of this client personally, and I think that's a good sign. Like when we say we're an extension of your in-house PR and marketing team, like this is what I want to see. That like I want to see that like my team really loves every account, because we don't also take every account here. We have this motto that we want to work with unicorns and those in the making.
Absolutely.
So it's very important for us to make sure that we're also working with high quality projects that are constantly expanding their ecosystem. And I think MultiversX definitely
falls under that
category. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. It was fantastic speaking to you all about the work that you've done, and keep it up.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.